our national anthem.
Welcome back to Nashville to watch your Vanderbilt Commodores take on the University of Massachusetts, otherwise known as UMass, Minute Women. We're going to wait out for the end of this national anthem. And we are so excited to get back to lacrosse here in Nashville. It's about 60 degrees today, but in true Nashville form, there'll be a snowstorm tonight. Probably the last of the spring season. Game got moved up so that we could get it in outside, not have to go indoors, and enjoy today's weather before everything hits tomorrow. This is the first time these two teams have played each other in quite some time. As we celebrate 50 years of Title IX throughout the course of this season, this is the 40th year of leading up to a national championship for women's lacrosse. And it just so happens that the first ever winner of the national championship was none other than UMass. So we celebrate 40 years today of women's lacrosse as we celebrate 50 years of Title IX, which gave us all the opportunity to play here in the first place. I am Michelle Sebastian, former Vanderbilt Commodore. I won't say what year, but very excited to be back here in Nashville and watching the Commodores. Commodores coming off a tough road trip out to Colorado. They lost over a weekend on Friday to University of Colorado, who is now in the top 25, and then on that Sunday played at University of Denver and played much better that game, but still came up a bit short, losing 6-10. Denver currently ranked number 12 in the country. Vandy had just come off some very big wins against Notre Dame and then finishing off Elon. They are looking to regain that swagger and that composure, playing against a very tough UMass team. Neither of these teams have played a conference game yet, but the Minute Women have just recently played Colorado. That was a tight game. They lost in the end, but they do have victories against UMass Lowell and Vermont and Boston University. Their other loss with their 3-2 record coming off a game against number 1 Boston College. So they've mostly been in the area. This is their first road trip. It's not their first away game. They did go to UMass Lowell, but that's in state. This is their first flight. And starting out on the draw today, we have Louisville transfer Megan Mango Manginis. She is going up against Olivia Masella. UMass has 10 graduate players on their team. They have 7 5-year players and 3 graduate transfers. So a very experienced team along with Vanderbilt's very experienced team. And Olivia goes a little early, so Vanderbilt gets possession off the draw. And ball goes to Callie Sundin. She looks to go behind the cage. There's a no pass to Carly Bucci, so she'll hold on to it. She passes up to Ellie Hilsebeck, who comes in after Mango goes off the field. Kayla Rue gets it, passes over to Bree Gross. Ball goes back behind. And Gabby Fornia passes to Carly Bucci. Vanderbilt always looking for that roll, and if it's not there, that pass in the middle, and this time the pass in the middle is there. Gabby Fornia with yet another assist to a wide open Carly Bucci, who quick sticks it into the back of the net. Vandy, 43 seconds into the game, goes up 1-0. And one of my favorite songs by Eminem playing. Carly must have picked that for her song, and that makes me like her even more than I already do. Carly Bucci already prepped and going into finance when she graduates, going out to Boston. Going to work in investment banking. And we have Megan Manginas going back up against Olivia Masella. And both players jump up with a miss, and Kayla Rue in a scrum, and Olivia Masella comes up with the ball, but ball drops and Amy Moreau comes up with it. Ball goes behind for the Minute Women. And that's number 22, Julia Smith with the ball. She'll pass up top, back up to Kendra Harbinger. Kendra is one of those graduate student transfers they're talking about. She goes in and draws the double, pulls her stick over to the right and tries to go back in and is fouled on the way. She will get a free position at the far left hash. Melissa Hawkins is right behind her. She has Devin Fitzpatrick on her left. She'll go in hard to cage. And Paige Gunning is there for the stop. What a great tracking job by Paige Gunning. And you'll see she gives that little bounce pass, roll pass out to Megan McGillis, who passes up to Melissa Hawkins. Melissa Hawkins getting pushed as Kendra Harbinger tries to get that ball back. Just a great read, great eyes on the ball by Paige Gunning. Megan McGillis runs into a wall over to the side. She wasn't sure what she was going to do with that, loses possession, but Melissa Hawkins comes up with it. They are trying desperately to make it over the restraining line. Right now they're being doubled by UMass's attack redefend, and Emily Brooks is going to carry it across the restraining line and go hard towards cage. She'll look up, pass the ball off to Ellie Hilsebeck. This is almost like a home game for Ellie Hilsebeck, who hails from Massachusetts. She and I got a chance to speak yesterday, and a bunch of her old teammates and kids she knew from club back from home are in this weekend. Her parents are here. She was very excited to play in this game. She passes the ball up to Gabby Fornia and off to Callie Sundin up top. Callie Sundin is fouled. Looks like a cross-body foul. She'll have a free position at the most favorable hash up top. She will run it in and try to score. Ball pops out as she goes in, but she is fouled again. She will get to take a free position from the same spot. She runs it in and finds the back of the net. Great job by Callie Sundin. I am just so impressed with the music today. And now we got Aha after Round the Outside. I mean, just killing it today. What a heads-up play by Callie Sundin. She faked the goalie several times, ran it in, protected her stick. As soon as the goalie committed, she shot in the back left-hand corner, top left-hand corner of the cage. Ball just burns the back of the net. Vanderbilt just 2 minutes and 48 seconds into this game, already up 2-0. And that was great because Vandy didn't even get the draw on the last possession. That was a heads-up play by Paige Gunning. It all starts with a great defense, and she was able to stop that shot. You can see it's very windy out right now. And Olivia Masella is going back up against Megan Mango, and Olivia comes up with the ball again. She's fouled a little bit. She'll pass up to Brinley Anderson. She passes off to the side, back over to Kendra Harbinger. Ball goes behind. Emily Brooks goes for that steal. And number 25, Fiona McGowan, doesn't take enough steps to be in front of the cage when she takes that shot. And you can't have a shot like that against a goalie like Paige Gunning. Her angle was not great, and Paige was in perfect position to stop it. Very impressed by UMass's redefend, however. They are really putting pressure on this Vanderbilt defense in midfield to get the ball across the restraining line. Those attackers really are working all the way to the opposite restraining line to try to get the ball back. Bree Gross has it. She passes to Ellie Hilsebeck in the middle, but a great heads-up play by goalie Gina Carroll for UMass. She hops in for the interception. Sometimes when it looks too easy, that's just the other team goading you into making a mistake. Sammy Helgeson, transfer from Penn State, grabs the ball from Gina Carroll, runs up and passes off to number 14, Audra Tassone. And UMass will set up their attack. This is going to be really more of a settled offense for them. The other two were sort of slow break transition plays. Ball goes up to number 20, Kelly Mara. She has a little wall of defenders there, and that was a nice jump catch and another stop by Paige Gunning. She is so intimidating. She's on a roll right now, and when Paige Gunning gets on a roll, her confidence just keeps growing and growing. Kayla Rude taking a little bit of a risk there as well. They're definitely running some two-man plays, and a very nice goal by number 43, Alex Finn, a junior from Westwood, Massachusetts. You can see that Alex had her stick high the entire time she was coming across the goal circle, looking towards the cage for a shot. And at the very end, she brings her stick low and does a low bounce shot into the cage because that's where the goalie isn't. The goalie was mimicking her stick, and Paige had already had one stop. Can't blame her. Coach Angela McMahon and I were speaking before the game today, and their focus, especially on their offense, has been to make sure that you see the cage. And we talked about this at the Notre Dame game, how on point Vanderbilt's shots were, that they took that extra second, that extra millisecond really, to see the cage before they shot and really look to where they wanted to place that ball. And it's such a short window of time, but that little piece makes such a big difference. You think it's just common sense that you look at the cage and before you take a shot, but it really is just of the utmost importance. And Vanderbilt doing a great job off that draw, and Callie Sundin has it. She passes to Ella Smith, who can't hang on to it behind. Sorry, Carly Bucci, who can't hang on to it behind. It sort of was an off-center pass. Her body was going the other way, but some not crisp passing up the field, and Emily Brooks comes up with the ground ball. Sometimes when you try to do too much and make it look too cute, it is a little too much, and you lose possession of the ball. And Melissa Hawkins, the Hawk, has the ball. She brings it up, passes it over to Paige Finneran, who brings the ball across the restraining line. And a lot of pushing on Gabby Fournier there by Audra Tassone. And Gabby's going to take it all the way to the cage, and she has her stick up high and shoots opposite low right as the goalie comes up with her stick to meet her. And a goal by Vanderbilt. They go back up by 2. It's 3-1 with 8:52 left in this first quarter. A lot of scoring in the initial minutes of this game. There hasn't been as much settled offense in this game. A lot of scoring off transition, whether it be a fast break or a slow break. So we'll see how that plays out as the game progresses. But Megan Mango's doing a killer job today on the draw thus far. She has 3 of the 4 draws. And we have Bree Gross on the draw circle. She always likes to run in from afar. And she's got Ella Smith, who is now in the game on the other side of that draw circle. And a great pickup by Mango. She'll hop off. The transfer from Louisville really paying off dividends, getting that draw. She passes off. Ella Smith passes off to Callie Sundin, who passes off to Carly Bucci. Carly will get it back to Ella Smith over on the side. And now in the game for the Commodores, we have number 35, Nancy Halloran. She started to get some reps on the Vanderbilt attack. Ellie Hilsebeck calling for the ball in the middle. And that's going to be UMass ball, although Carly Bucci did a great job getting the ball off the bounce. Her stick crossed over the goal circle, which you are not allowed to do unless it is a follow through with your shot. And she was clearly trying to go for a ground ball, and Callie Sundin got a piece of that pass, enough to slow it down, but not enough. And I think that UMass was offsides, so ref stops and ball goes back to Vandy. Ella Smith with the ball. She gets it and passes it up several times. Ball goes behind. Ellie Hilsebeck has it. I think a few of those girls feel like they know Ellie Hilsebeck pretty well, and they're going to go hard after the hometown girl. Nancy Halloran passes back to Carly Bucci, who'll pass it back up to Callie Sundin. And that's now in the hands of Molly Finley. She's in the game for the Commodores. She has her pass intercepted by number 23, Courtney Barrett. Courtney Barrett, another graduate player for UMass. Vanderbilt obviously has Gabby Fornia and Melissa Hawkins playing for them. And number 4, Brinley Anderson brings the ball down the field. UMass has some very tall players. And another sort of off-angle shot, this time by number 20, Kelly Mara. UMass maintains possession of the ball. They are closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds, so they will work the ball around. They are definitely settling down with the ball. And Kelly Mara goes hard with another attempt at a low shot, but it goes wide. But UMass picks up the ball again. And classic sort of Vanderbilt play as they go hard in the middle, and just too many times trying to pass in that middle. It was too clogged. They went for the roll, passed in the middle. That is a tough angle pass to make when someone is running at you. Sometimes you just got to take an extra second. And a beautiful shot by number 21, Kendra Harbinger. Really hard redefend by UMass. They did not give up on that play. Vanderbilt had gotten the ball. They had gotten that interception in the middle, but they tried to move the ball very quickly, trying to avoid that redefend that they had run into the past couple of plays, but just a little too quickly. That pass was off angle for Devin Fitzpatrick, and Kendra Harbinger gets that breakaway, and Paige Gunning had several saves in that last offensive set, but there's only so many times you can save the ball. You have to rely on the rest of your team to really handle it and take care of it. UMass back within 1, 5:44 left in this quarter. Vanderbilt is up 3-2. And Megan Manginas will go back up against Olivia Masella. She's going to take most of the draws for UMass, as her coach told me. She is very tall. I'll say it again, there's a lot of tall players on this UMass team. Now, Megan McGillis and Emily Brooks are a little on the shorter side, but still. And a beautiful draw over to Bree Gross, who passes off to Callie Sundin. Vandy really doing well on the draws today. And a double team over on Callie Sundin, which means somebody's open, but they just haven't gotten there yet because Megan Manginas runs off the field. She's a draw specialist, and they have to wait for an attacker to come back on. So really, they were able to double the ball until that happened. UMass was able to double the ball until Vandy had their 7th man come on the attacking end. Ellie Hilsebeck has the ball again behind, and Ellie is new as an attacker. She grew up playing midi and even some D. She thought she would play some D for Vandy, but she has just been a scoring machine lately. Has had some beautiful plays and is playing attack and just loving the new position. Thinks it's very fun. And Gabby Fournier takes one to the head. So UMass with its first yellow card of the game. Number 14, Audra Tassone, will sit. That was outside of the critical scoring area, so I'm not sure that it will be a free position on a hash mark or if she will just have the ball up top. They're going to get the ball up top, but Vandy now up 7-6, 7v6 in this offense, so they can really work on passing the ball around and moving the defense. UMass is in a zone right now, so they can make up for that spot that one player being off the field gets. And the yellow card's for 2 minutes unless Vandy scores. And there's a foul on that pass, so Vanderbilt will get the ball back. Ellie Hilsebeck has it out to the side. And it looks like the foul was on Paige Finneran, so she will get a free position from the far right hash. She puts it in her left hand. She will either run it in or pass it off because it is a off-angle shot, and she does a nice job of moving over to the left and moving the goalie, but great heads-up stop by Gina Carroll for UMass. And UMass passes up to Olivia Masella. Callie Sundin, a little too hard on the crossbody check there. And again, UMass is offsides. And so Vanderbilt gets the ball back. That's the second time in a row as they came down the field that they've been called for that. And Megan McGillis passes back to Paige Gunning, who switches fields and passes over to Emily Brooks, and then back up to Taylor Sampone. She is back in the game, and she is pushed out of bounds by UMass. Ball goes back up top. Bree Gross has it. She passes back to Gabby, back and forth, and a look into the middle, and a very wide open number 14, Haley Gochnauer. She's a sophomore, but she opts to pass back to Ellie Hilsebeck. But there's a foul, and Gabby Fournier has a free position on that far left hash. She looks to pass into the middle, and a beautiful pass to Bree Gross, and a nice shot, but an awesome save by Gina Carroll. Vandy working hard to get that ball back, and Paige Finneran and Gabby Fournier come up with it, but the pass is a little too long. And a beautiful box out job by UMass. You can see that she wasn't even going for the ball, but she boxed out Carly Bucci from stopping the ball from going out of bounds. And another pass that's too hard. And of course, Paige Gunning is always in the correct positioning, and her stick skills are excellent. So she basically goaded UMass into making that check. And when they went for it, she went the opposite way. And again, UMass working so hard in this redefend, and too hard of a pass, so much back and forth right now. They are going to be very tired if they keep this up. And UMass able to get the ball back. Ball goes out of bounds. That was a pass intended for Melissa Hawkins, who was working her way up the field. She goes for that interception, and UMass gets it and gets a shot off, but Paige Gunning stops it. But the whistle happened before the shot. I'm going to assume that was a shooting space call. So Kelly Mara will get a free position from the center left hash. This is also a very friendly hash for a right-handed player. Haven't had a goal in about 7 minutes now. Vandy's still up 3-2 with under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. And Kelly Mara opts to pass back to Kendra Harbinger. You can see all the stutter steps when the UMass players are out wide. They are hoping to go to defender into picking a side and then going the opposite. And a nice spin move, nice defensive positioning by Kayla Rue and by Taylor Sampone. But there is a body foul. And UMass gets a free position, and number 3, Amy Moreau, scores. A senior out of New York. And the score is now tied with just 1.5 minutes left in this first quarter. A lot of back and forth. Vanderbilt, very similar to the first quarter against Notre Dame, when maybe it's just beginning of the game jitters or trying to do too much instead of just focusing on taking care of the ball as you come up the field, maybe not avoiding that double team and instead waiting for it to come so that there's a clear pass over to the side. But Vandy is definitely going to have to clean up some of those mistakes and just anticipate that there is going to be a very hard redefend and know that it's going to be a tough climb, but they're going to have to take their time to bring the ball up the field. Megan Manginas going up against Olivia Masella again, and Bree Gross is there with a flying leap, one-handed, just a beautiful job by Bree Gross. She's just so pretty to watch. And Lila Huddle's in this attack now. She had 4 goals in a row against Liberty, just had a killer game. And Vandy again with a lot of going for these ground balls and crazy passing. And this tough UMass defense comes up with it again. Vandy has to do a better job of hanging onto the ball and taking their time once they bring it down. And that's number 26, Allie Murphy. She passes back to Gina Carroll, who sees Olivia Masella open in the middle. Nice, clear, and transition by UMass there. Number 17, Maddie Maloney has it. She passes over to Kendra Harbinger. And Kelly Mara has it again up top. Nice defense by Vanderbilt. As Paige Finneran, and giving Kendra Harbinger a little too much on that right side. She shoots past the cage, but UMass comes up with the ball. They are closest to it as it goes out of bounds. Looking for that pass in the middle, and a nice pass to number 24, Olivia Masella, but her shot is off. There's a foul. and a quick pass in the middle. Nice defense, great positioning. And time runs out before a score, even though that was a really beautiful defensive play and stop by Paige Gunning. Score is now tied with a 2-minute break as we go into the second quarter. Vanderbilt dominating at the beginning of the game, but then a lot of loose balls, a lot of really hard redefending by UMass. They get the ball back and are just getting too many chances on the attacking end. Paige Gunning coming up with some nice saves, and UMass even being offside several times and Vanderbilt getting the ball back. They're just going to have to clean up when they do have the ball and make sure they get the ball down and do what they do. Their settled attack is a force to be reckoned with, but it looks like they're a little bit nervous. And I don't know if it's the size or how hard UMass is going, but I do think Vanderbilt will adjust now going into this second quarter. So had a great conversation with Ellie Hilsbeck. We talked a little bit about her background. Her club coach is Meredith Frank, who the Franks run Mass Elite in the Boston area, and she was on their 2020 team. She has 2 sisters. One is a junior in college. She is no longer playing lacrosse, but her younger sister is a sophomore in high school, plays for Mass Elite, and she wants to play in college just like her big sister, Ellie. Her parents are both athletes, but never played lacrosse before. And she is just so excited to be playing for Vanderbilt and her team. She spoke so highly of her coaches and her teammates. And we talked a little bit about Title IX and people who made a difference in her life. And one woman in particular that she mentioned, obviously outside of Beth and Jill, but a woman by the name of Jess Adams, who was her assistant basketball coach. Of course, Ellie Hilsbeck made varsity as a freshman, the only freshman on basketball at NDA. And this coach just brought her under her wing, and she thinks of her often. She really made her feel comfortable and helped her become the athlete that she is today. And unfortunately, her sophomore year, Jess Adams passed away from cancer. And she goes back to knowing her during that time. You wouldn't even know that she was going through chemo and going through all the things that she was going through because she was just there and present for the girls. And Ellie said that she thinks of her still to this day. She thinks of her often about her strength and her power, and she is the woman that made one of the biggest influences on her life and one of the reasons that Ellie is here and doing so well to this day. So definitely wanted to acknowledge her Title IX hero. And now we have switched sides of the field as we do every quarter, and Megan Manginas again with the draw, doing a fantastic job. She has very hard, again, redefend on her. And number 3, Amy Moreau, causing that turnover and getting the ball off to Hannah Heller, who's now in the game for UMass. She'll bring the ball across the restraining line and passes off to Amy Moreau. Maddie Maloney has it and passes the ball behind to Julia Smith. And Julia looking to go in the middle, but Megan McGillis playing some great 1v1 defense. Defense and bringing the ball up the field matters so much, and I know a lot of times parents and kids are just so obsessed with goals and assists, but stopping the ball and forcing bad angle shots and getting the ball across the restraining line on the other end are equally as important to the team and to the game as scoring goals. So we always want to acknowledge great defense when we see it. And Kendra Harbinger has another free position, and she is forced out to a bad shot, no foul. Paige Gunning is in perfect position to pick that up. And I think we'll see Vanderbilt really taking their time to bring the ball up and over the line. And that goes up to Bree Gross and over to Paige Finneran. They're going to switch fields and pass the ball up. Emily Brooks has it. Emily gets it over to Paige Finneran, and the ref gets in the way a little bit, and a beautiful move by Devin Fitzpatrick. That's one of my favorite dodges of all time, the duck dodge. She brings them up high and then goes underneath both players, splitting them in the middle. Devin does lose the ball there afterwards. And it looks like number 23, Courtney Barrett, gets it and brings it back over the restraining line for the Minute Women. UMass definitely looking like they're trying to have a more settled attack thus far in this quarter. Ball goes behind, and another poor choice in angle coming off a crease roll, and that was number 43. That's Alex Finn. Again, if you're a high school player or a club player looking at that situation, it's a great move. You just have to be in front of the cage so that you have space in between the pipes to shoot on. And a beautiful transition there by Vanderbilt. Megan McGillis gets it over to Devin Fitzpatrick, who passes off to Kayla Rue and will head back over the restraining line. Paige Finneran was waiting to cross until they had it. Ellie Hilsebeck has it and passes over to Gabby Fournier. And back over to Lila Huddles. Ball goes over to the side again with Gabby Fournier. And an errant pass up top, but Bree Gross is there. I know the girls always take great comfort when Bree Gross has the ball because she rarely, if ever, loses it. Paige Finneran gets it, passes over to Kayla Rue. A lot of stuff happening on this left side. I think Vanderbilt really needs to either swing it or move the ball behind. And Gabby Fournier gets laid out by the Minute Women. She is going to get the ball back on that foul. It's always interesting to hear the parents. I always have the visiting section sitting in front of me when I'm looking down at the field. And nobody ever wants a foul unless it happens to their kid. So Gabby Fournier gets it up top. She looks in the middle, probably looking to do a little too much there into the middle. Ball goes over to that's not Kendra Harbinger, that's Courtney Barrett. She's brought the ball up the past couple of times, and she goes hard end to end. She looks like she's gonna go straight to goal, but passes it off. And a shooting space call. They're looking for a no call in the shooting space since they scored on the goal, and they get it. So now for the first time in this game, UMass is leading by 1. And I think Vanderbilt just needs to be more patient. Now that they've gotten the ball across the restraining line, now they need to be more patient and look for the right shot, not just any pass into the middle on their attack. So on that last play, UMass, we had Courtney Barrett barreling down the field, forcing players to collapse on her. She passes the ball off quickly, and when she does that, there is a Vanderbilt player basically moving to stand in front of her so that she can't shoot. She gets the pass off right before the whistle for the shooting space call. So she is going to get that goal. And Vandy goes in for another draw. 10.5 minutes left in this half. And Megan Manginas going back up. And now it's Maya Keenan-Gallagher taking the draw for UMass. Ball goes far out of bounds, and UMass will come up with it. Vandy going to work hard on this redefend. That's number 35, Nancy Halloran, working to get that ball back. And a pass in the middle, wide open, but takes an extra second and then misses on the shot. And Vanderbilt just hustling so hard. Their defense was even down a man. And somehow Vandy comes up with it. Melissa Hawkins with that pass in the middle to Lila Huddles. It's off, but luckily Paige Finner is there. And ball goes back to Lila Huddles, and Kayla Rue gets it and goes barreling down the field. She'll look to go towards Cage, but is fouled. That was across the body on that check. So she will get a free position over on this side, but she will pass the ball. She's not gonna probably go in for that. She might look to go in and then pass the ball off. This is a poor angle. She passes off to Ellie Hilsebeck. And over to Bree Gross. Ball goes back up top. And we have Nashville's own Josie Ward in the game. First time we're seeing the Nashville native come in for the Commodores. She did some big things against Notre Dame. Notre Dame was also very physical. She gets pushed from behind. A lot of times when you don't hear a call, it's because the ref has put their arm up, and that means that they'll call it if you lose advantage, but right now you have advantage, so they're not going to call it. And again, just so much physical, a lot of pushing in the back, and Vandy making some uncharacteristic mistakes. That's Nancy Halloran, who can't hold on to it, and a very tough UMass team working to get that ball back, passing back and forth, and Brinley Anderson has it. She misses on the shot, but UMass closest to the cage and taking too much time, trying to be a little too fancy with the BTB from Julia Smith, but ball goes wide and UMass gets it. They'll start with the ball up top again. People having a lot of trouble with this ball today, keeping it in their stick. I don't know if the heavy wind has anything to do with it. And Brinley Anderson is fouled in the middle. I'm sorry, that's number 1, Quinn Daly, fouled in the middle. Quinn Daly listed as a defender, but she's up here taking a free position shot for UMass, another graduate. Should be clear, graduate studies at UMass. She is on a very friendly hash, and she scores. The defender scores on a free position, and UMass goes up by 2. Vandy will call a timeout now, as they should. They're going to have to regroup. And make a decision to take care of the ball when they have it. Just some uncharacteristic drop passes and passes in the middle that aren't necessarily there. And UMass, give them all the credit. They are working hard to make the ball come out and capitalizing on it. Again, neither team has played any conference games, but they are currently 3-2 on the season and have many more shots off than Vanderbilt. I think the tail of this game, not taking care of the ball. 18 shots by UMass, not necessarily all on cage, but 18 shots to Vanderbilt's 6. Now, Vanderbilt's shooting percentage is a lot higher, but both of those numbers are going to need to go up for Vanderbilt to win this game. The temperature has definitely dropped during the course of the game, even from the initial warm-up and from the anthem. It's now 49 degrees. We've dropped about 11 degrees since we started. And the sun has gone down. The lights on the field have gone up. It's a good thing they pushed up the start time of this game to 4 instead of 6 o'clock. We are in a winter weather advisory. Some light rain is going to stop. Hope it doesn't turn to freezing rain. get this game in. So we got about half of this quarter left. And we've seen Vanderbilt come back. They were down 4 goals against Notre Dame and come back and take control of the game, working hard for every possession. I think we had a couple of nerves going on with some new people in the game, and now Vanderbilt changing things up. Freshman Kemper Robinson on the draw circle, as well as Bree Gross. And number 6, Maya Keenan-Gallagher going up against Megan Manginas, Mango, on the draw. Mango's been getting most of the draws here today. It's just whether or not Vanderbilt maintains possession after it goes to them. Looks like Ashley Sampone has come in for the Vanderbilt defense, as has Shea Henderson. Vanderbilt definitely given some different looks. And Vandy gets the draw. Ball goes up to Kemper Robinson. Kemper Robinson coming out of the storied McDonough School. They're consistently a top 5 in the nation team. She'll pass the ball off to Callie Sundin, who passes off to Paige Finneran. And Paige Finneran goes hard to cage, gets a flag but shoots it, goes off of the foot of Gina Carroll, the goalie. But that was a nice attempt by Vanderbilt. Great job bringing the ball up the field on the draw. Number 7, Sammy Helgeson, brings up the ball across the restraining line. She just comes down the field like a freight train. And ball gets passed off to number 17, Maddie Maloney, and off to number 22, Julia Smith, behind the cage. Nice defense, and Paige Finneran had her stick there, and a beautiful save by Paige Gunning. She is just everywhere. She is so athletic, and for all of you who think that the goalie is the one that doesn't like to run, I can assure you that Paige Gunning brings the ball up the field as well as any defender. And a pass from Megan McGillis is intercepted on the way to Kayla Rue, and Vandy defense gonna have to sprint back. Melissa Hawkins and Shea Henderson get back very quickly so that UMass has to slow it down and settle on their attack. Kendra Harbinger has the ball, and she passes over to Amy Moreau. Ball goes back to Olivia Masella, and ball goes into the middle, but Kayla Rue getting that ball back, and that's a crossbody check. You cannot check someone's stick on the other side of their body if you are not in position. And Shea Henderson bringing that ball up. She's got some wheels here. She passes off to Kemper Robinson. Kemper's gonna have to work. I do think some of these younger players are not used to getting that stick in the back from behind as they hold on to the ball. It's just a different level when you get to college. And Amy Moreau working hard to get the ball back. She had lost it down on the attacking end last time. I can tell who she is from up here. She passes the ball over to Kelly Mara and down to Kendra Harbinger. Kendra looking to do a 2-man there with Kelly Mara, but ball goes wide of the net, and Julia Smith has it behind. She's working on a beautiful stick check by Megan McGillis, and she boxes out so that Paige Gunning and Bree Gross can come up with the ball and a pass in the middle to Shea Henderson. She will bring the ball up again. She had wheels last time. Callie Sundin asking for that ball. She passes back to the middle to Ashley Sampone and back up, and again, not waiting that extra second to make sure that that's a good pass for Vanderbilt. And UMass gets the ball back. They are going to have to work on this run-in, and a wide open shot, but a miss. 21 shots by UMass in this first half. And they are going to slow it down and settle on their attack. Olivia Masella passes back over to Kendra Harbinger. We knew we were going to hear her name a lot today. And a quick pass into the middle, and another beautiful save by Paige Gunning. She is everywhere today. She is putting in the work on defense and making those stops for Vanderbilt. Now Vanderbilt needs to do their job and bring the ball all the way up the field, doing such a good job on the defensive end. And Kayla Rue has a nice cut to the middle. She gets fouled several times, but she is going to keep going and get that ball across the line. Vanderbilt, I am sure, is going to get the call to settle in on their attack, take their time and get a good shot off. They have 55 seconds left on this shot clock. Just under 3 minutes to play in this half. They need to make some good decisions and get a shot off. Bree Gross with a beautiful attempt. Her player came off her, but she decided to pass over to Gabby Fornia. Gabby goes hard. She always goes hard with her head up. There is one player who doesn't care if she scores or gets an assist, and that's why she has so many assists. And a nice push off and a beautiful look in the middle to Bree Gross, and the shot goes wide, but Vanderbilt in great positioning. Ellie Hilsbeck gets the ball back. She'll pass over to Gabby Fornia. Gabby looks in the middle and gets another pass off to Bree Gross, and this time she converts. Beautiful job by Bree Gross. Waits for the goalie to commit, shoots on the opposite side of the net. Vandy, after this long drought, scores and are back within one. Just under 2 minutes left to play in this half. That is Vanderbilt playing their brand of lacrosse, making those passes that are there, that are open, taking care of the ball, and working and drawing the doubles so that people are open in the middle. And it's always a safe bet to pass that ball over to Bree Gross. She doesn't have a 100% shooting percentage, but she always sees the net before she shoots. And when she takes a shot, most times it is on cage and a shot that she should be taking. So it seems like UMass is going to stick with Maya Keenan-Gallagher on the draw. Mango was winning most of them against Olivia Masella. A good coach will make that adjustment. And another draw that seemed to go their way, but there was a foul on going after that ground ball, and a lot of stoppage of play here. A timeout by UMass this time. They need to stop and have a good possession. I'm sure they want to go into this half up by 2 as opposed to the 1 they are right now. 22 shots by UMass thus far in this half. Sometimes you don't get 22 shots in an entire game, let alone a half. That speaks to the fact that it's only 5 goals, speaks to the defense and really the star right now, Paige Gunning, who has just been stopping shots right and left. So athletic. Vandy has the time to hop back on this field, regroup, and do what they just did in the last possession. Make sure on these stops that they bring the ball successfully across the restraining line and take their time to get a good shot off. think we're going to see some more of our experienced Vanderbilt players coming back on this field. Some of the younger players, it seems, are getting a little thrown off by the physicality that UMass, and all credit to UMass, they are being extremely physical. Not necessarily fouling, but being extremely physical every time Vanderbilt touches that ball. The players head back on the field, and we have 78 seconds left on the shot clock. So they are going to have to shoot before the half. A couple new things in women's lacrosse this year. If you get fouled and get the ball back, you no longer get a fresh 90. You only get 60 seconds on the shot clock instead, keeping things moving. And number 9, Kylie Bowen, in the game for UMass. Ball goes back up top between Kelly Mara and over to Allie Murphy. She'll pass off to Kylie Bowen again. Kylie goes for that off angle. She wasn't stepping with her opposite foot. She was stepping on her same side foot, which you can do when there's too many people on your strong side to shoot. But against a goalie like Paige Gunning, if you're not shooting your hardest, it's just not going to go in. And she was ready for it. But again, Vanderbilt on the transition, not running through their passes, but working so hard on the redefend. Gabby Fournier gets it. With 46 seconds left in this half, Vanderbilt is going to have to work hard to get a good shot off, but plenty of time. Ellie Hilsebeck gets it. She passes over to Nellie Blaze, who's in the game for the Doors, and she passes off to Josie Brown, who holds on for it for too long. She was looking for a foul there, but you got to play until you hear a whistle. And UMass sprinting down the field, passing the ball, and just a beautiful transition by UMass. So many passes, so crisp, looking for the open man, and when you have that many passes, somebody's wide open. And Fiona McGowan was just sitting opposite side, waiting for the ball to come back to her. Wide open, Paige Gunning had done her job. Vandy is going to have to take care of the ball and play through until you hear the whistle. And that was another freshman, yeah, getting pushed from multiple people from behind. But you got to keep working until the ball hits the back of the net. And Remy Ricciardi is coming in for the Commodores on this draw. There's only 12 seconds left. And the ball goes to Vanderbilt. Remy passes up to Ellie Hilsebeck. There's only 3 seconds left, so she's going to have to go to cage. They are not going to get a shot off before time expires. And UMass up 6-4 in this first half of play. The tail of the tape right now is Vanderbilt's clear percentage and making poor choices on attack and bringing the ball up the field. And UMass just being super aggressive, getting 24 shots off to Vanderbilt's 9 in this first half. We're going to take a break. The girls have 10 minutes. Please join us for our second half of this Vanderbilt-UMass women's lacrosse game.
four-letter way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new feed. First shot, new start walking, a little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Someone who's pretty much rocking copies for the game. No, y'all can't copy yet. More walking in this year. It's our party. My box is been on Broadway, and we did it always. Full music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on that stage light, going shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and play go in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town.
Extremely short, and you can hide everywhere. Oh, I'd rather be extremely short, because then you can wear heels, boost you up. Probably extremely tall, because then I can see over people in concerts and stuff like that. Extremely short. Extremely short, because I am kind of short, and I kind of like where I'm at. I'd rather be extremely short. I'm almost there. Well, I am extremely short, so I'm just gonna go with that. Extremely tall, so I can reach things better. Extremely tall, obviously. Definitely tall. I'm tall already, but I'd take extra inches if I could. I think it's such a useful tool.
Welcome back for the second half play of your Vanderbilt Commodores against the UMass Minutewomen. Very, very interesting first half for Vanderbilt. Tail of the tape, biggest takeaways from the first half is that Vanderbilt had 17 turnovers. They don't normally have 17 turnovers in a game, let alone a half. The wind and the rough play, the tenacity right now of this UMass team is definitely putting them ahead. UMass only had 8 turnovers. Now, UMass did have 15 fouls to Vanderbilt's 9. And off that draw, working hard again, and the Minutewomen come up with it. The clear percentage, so Vanderbilt had 14 clears and only made 8 of those attempts. So that's 6 loss of possession, opportunity to score by the other team right there, let alone the other turnovers in the game. So that is the difference maker thus far. And Vanderbilt seems pretty lucky to have the score only be a 2-point game. And a great heads-up play, hard-nosed defense by Vanderbilt right there. And Vandy's number 3, Kate Bradley, is in the game, another freshman out of St. Stephen's and St. Agnes. I have a lot of former teammates that I still keep in contact with, and one of my good buddies, Margaret Rains, went to St. Stephen's, St. Agnes. She played with me. She was a freshman when I was a senior. We are still friends to this day. I'm staying with her in Nashville. She is with me in the booth, helping me today, cheering on the Commodores. And Devin Fitzpatrick getting very involved, coming up all the way, asking for that ball on the attacking end, but she'll go back to the defense so Kayla Rue can pop back over. Kayla Rue has the ball back up top. And Paige Finneran gets it. Vandy, plenty of time, 40 seconds left to work and get a good shot off. I think Vandy's looking to put some difference makers in the game along with their steadfast crew. And Gabby is fouled on this hash, a far right hash. She's gonna go in hard and has a fantastic shot. She falls through the crease, but she is pushed. And you can see the ref acknowledging that she's past the goal circle, but that she was pushed in, therefore, what else can you do? And Vandy back on the board again within 1. Just 2 minutes passed in this third quarter. And Gabby Fournier, that's her second goal of the game. That was a heads-up play by the defense. That's where it started, forcing a bad pass. It went wide. And Vandy picking up that ground ball. That's another stat that they've been behind as far as versus UMass goes. So ground balls, UMass was 16 in the first half, Vanderbilt only 7. So looking at this, if Vanderbilt could just turn around some of these things, taking care of the ball, picking up the ground balls, getting the ball over the straining line, getting more shots off, they can win this game, just like they did against Notre Dame. The game was within a goal by halftime, and then they came back and won by 2. And UMass gonna stick with Maya Keenan-Gallagher. Thus far, Coach Angela McMahon telling me that her offense is one where she wants as many different people scoring as possible, has definitely rung true. We're going to talk about her Title IX hero during this half as well. She said the team chemistry is just really fantastic. Everyone just gets along so well. They're an older team with the 10 graduate students on the team, only 3 of them transferring in, but there are some really big gets, obviously. Sammy Helgeson being one of them, Kendra Harbinger. And Vandy working the ball around, looking to go hard to cage every time they have the ball. They've got their head up, so they don't just have to go to cage. They can look and pass the ball. And Ellie Hilsebeck going hard, and a beautiful rebound grab by Paige Finneran. She has such a great stick. She has come up with some balls in the middle that I don't know how she comes up with it, but just a great stick. And another beautiful pass from Gabby Fornia to Bree Gross, but ball is stopped, and Vandy does not come up with the rebound on that, and the Minutemen waste no time, sorry, the Minutewomen waste no time in bringing the ball up. And that was Audrey Tassone passing up to number 26, Allie Murphy. And another stop by Paige Gunning. She is my #1 player for Vanderbilt right now, has come up with so many big plays and kept Vanderbilt in this game despite the turnovers and the clear percentage and the lack of ground balls. And UMass is playing hard. They have significantly more fouls called on them than Vandy does, but Vanderbilt is going to have to adjust. And the pass off, what a beautiful one-handed grab by Bree Gross. She's just unfazed. And Vandy, great job getting the ball back. They brought the ball back downfield again. There's a lot of older players on the field right now for Vanderbilt. Ellie Hilsebeck has it. She's going hard to cage. I do think UMass has it out for Ellie Hilsebeck a little today, the hometown girl from Hingham, Massachusetts. They know she's there. And a cross-body foul on Kate Bradley. She's back in the game, an attacker, a freshman. They've had a couple other freshmen in an attack, but they're giving Kate a shot. Today's the first game that I have been in attendance where Kate has come in, so she must have been doing some nice work at practice, earning her some playing time. And the ref going over to talk to the table about resetting the clock. I believe it should be reset to 60 seconds and not 90. Or it's going back to 48. Must have reset to 90 by accident. And Kayla Rue on the left hash on a free position. She runs it in with a score, and Vandy ties up the game. Beautiful shot by Kayla Rue. Or apparently it did not pass the goal line. It went to the side of the cage. It looked like it went in. Great stop, or great heads up by Gina Carroll, seeing that it didn't go in, grabbing it quickly and forcing the ball back up the field. It's unfortunate for Vanderbilt. They just need to play hard defense here, get the ball back, and start again. Kendra Harbinger with the ball up top. She passes back over to Kelly Mara. They're going to play some two-man together and try and get a shot off. And she does. And ball goes in. Paige Gunning seemed a little bit upset about how that came off. That was a nice two-man play between Kendra Harbinger and Kelly Mara.
Scored by number 20, Kelly Mara. Time to go, 10:02.
For those of you unfamiliar with how the two-man game works, it's full of possibilities where two people sort of work together. One tries to draw a double. You get a quick pass off to the girl whose player went to go double you. Sometimes you can go to cage. Sometimes last minute you make that pass. It's Seems like there's some discord on the Vanderbilt side. They're trying to work out what they need to do to stop that from happening. UMass up by 2, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Lower scoring game. And a push called on Vandy off the draw, even though it was a nice grab by Bree Gross. Ball will go back. The push was on Mango against Maya Keenan-Gallagher. And UMass pushes the ball across the restraining line. Vanderbilt, another new player in Kate Murphy, in for the attack on Vanderbilt, and UMass scores again quickly. A slow break off that draw, off the foul, and for the first time in this game of any team goes up by 3. Still plenty of time to right this ship and get the ball back. You can also see it's extremely windy here. The temperature continues to drop.
Assisted by number 43, Alex Finn.
If I'm UMass, this is probably what the weather was when I left home, maybe even colder. And UMass extremely excited. Their fans going crazy. So Maya Keenan-Gallagher going back up against Mango. Megan Manginas. She's got Kayla Rue and Bree Gross on the draw circle. Ball goes up nice and high. And Mango does a great job of getting the ball out to herself so she can pick up the ground ball. Bree Gross picks it up, passes off to Gabby Fornia. And Vandy with the opportunity here on attack. They are doubling the ball every time somebody gets it. And Paige Finneran uncharacteristically gets it. She's called for covering. And UMass gets the ball. They come barreling down the field across the restraining line. They have been extremely athletic. I don't know what that call was. Must have been off ball, but UMass maintains possession. Ball goes a little bit errantly, and this time Vandy goes hard to try to get that ball back, and shooting space called. So UMass will get a free position from that far right hash. And another score. That's Olivia Masella scoring off the free position, and UMass is now up by 4 with 8:23 left in this third quarter. Vandy going to make a few more adjustments on this draw. Ella Smith coming in and Kemper Robinson on the draw circle. Kate Bradley goes out. Vanderbilt trying to mix things up and find their rhythm. Kayla Rue and Bree Gross comes off. Nellie Blaze on defense for the Commodores, along with Shay Henderson, Devin Fitzpatrick, and Melissa Hawkins.
Olivia Muscella. Time of goal, 8:23.
Vanderbilt going to have to get possession off the draw. It has gone to UMass the last couple of possessions and will go to them again. Number 14, Audra Tassone comes up with it. She passes off to Olivia Masella, who is doubled in the middle, but a foul called on Shay Henderson. She'll pick the ball back up. Olivia will. She passes right back off to Maddie Maloney. Was open on that side. Paige goes out to defend her because she had no one on her. And a loose ball, and Nellie Blaze, very quick, she goes after it and picks up the ball. Great hustle play by Nellie Blaze. She's having trouble hanging onto it. She still goes after it, but fouls UMass in the process. UMass gets the ball back. Sometimes things always seem to be going a certain team's way, but it's because they are putting in the hustle work. UMass just seems very hungry this game, and Coach McMahon said they would be. And Remy goes hard on that crease roll. She goes underneath and gets a beautiful shot off. UMass now double the score of Vanderbilt, who will call a timeout here. That was scored by number 25, Fiona McGowan.
Number 25, Fiona McGowan. Time to go 7:04.
Vandy is going to have to clean things up here. They are not communicating well on defense. They have not gotten the draw much at all in this half, and they were winning most of the draws in the first half. This is a game of runs, and UMass is on a run right now. They've just scored 4 in a row and are now up by 5. Coach Beth Hewitt going to talk to her team. This is not a Paige gunning problem. Sometimes things aren't working well. It's not a goalie's day, and you switch out your goalkeeper to give a different look. That's not what's happening here right now. Vandy does have another fantastic backup goalie in Lexi DeRozier. But right now it's the defense and the transition and the attack that really needs to come together and figure out what's going on. How they're going to keep UMass out and take care of the ball, bring it down, and get some nice shots off. I don't even know if they've had a shot attempt besides Bree Gross and Kayla Rue's shot in this half thus far. So in about 8 minutes of play, Vanderbilt has only gotten 2 shots off. The one we thought went in that was on the side of the cage by Kayla Rue, and then the quick stick and past the cage by Bree Gross at the beginning of this half. It continues to get colder and more blustery here. Megan Maginas coming in for this draw. Bree Gross back in on the draw circle along with Kayla Rue. UMass sticking with Maya Keenan-Gallagher, and why not? She has gotten most of the draws in this half. And this time, Mango and Bree completely in sync with each other. Bree gets the ball. She looks up to pass, decides better of it. And I think that's the adjustment that needs to be made on bringing the ball up the field, is if it looks too easy, it probably is. And I don't know what happened on that pass and catch there. It just went right by Vandy. Ball goes out of bounds, another turnover, and UMass going to bring the ball down the field. UMass swings the ball, switches fields, and number 4, Brinley Anderson, brings it down. She will pass over to Kendra Harbinger. Goes back to Alex Finn. She looks to the middle, and ball does not go where she wants it to. Vanderbilt defense fighting hard. That was Shay Henderson flipping the ball over to Paige Gunning. She will pass it back out to Shay. Shea is going to run down the field with her head up, make a quick pass over to Bree Gross. That's who I would pass it to. And that was a major slash that was uncalled. When your stick goes from high and hits the ground, usually you get a call there. Lots of fouling, a lot of arm. Not getting an official call. Ella Smith has the ball up top. She's going to look hard to cage. Kate Bradley back in. She has the ball behind. She'll pass over to Bree Gross, who can't hang on to it. And Melissa Hawkins unable to get it from Kendra Harbinger, who passes up to Amy Moreau. And it's a slow break. UMass is going to wait for the rest of their attack to make it down, make a little switch so their defender can go back across the restraining line. Maddie Maloney has it. She passes back over to number 25, Fiona McGowan. And a really nice job by Alex Finn. She gets the ball down low. She takes that extra step, fakes high, shoots low. Vanderbilt now down by 6 with just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Plenty of time left to play. The Minutemen still on this run. Vandy has yet to score yet in this half. In almost 11 minutes of play. They are going to have to figure out a way to break through the double teaming and the just very rough physical play of this UMass defense. And it has now started to rain as it gets colder here. That'll just muddy the waters even further. There's been a lot of games where there's just been extreme weather that's happened in the middle of the game. It has dropped another 10 degrees since we last told you it was 49 degrees. It's now 39 degrees here in Nashville, with the winds at 18 miles per hour. So when you see the flagpole out in the corner moving so greatly, and Vanderbilt steps over the restraining line, which you're not allowed to do on a draw. Someone has to have possession before you can cross that line. Your stick can go over the restraining line, but not any part of your body, just the stick, to grab the ball. And she hangs her stick out, and a beautiful job by Kemper Robinson of getting the ball back, but then she loses it, and Minutemen get the ball back. Kendra Harbinger with the ball. She'll pass back up to Kelly Mara. The temperature with the wind chill is 39 degrees. That is what has dropped so precipitously with the wind and the rain coming down. Feels like 39 degrees, and at the beginning of this game it was closer to 60. And we got some sleet mixed in with that, so not the best playing conditions, but being a Division I athlete means playing through it, ignoring that, and working hard regardless. And some beautiful defense there by Megan McGillis and Melissa Hawkins. But a foul is called, and Kelly Mara will get a free position on the far left hash. Melissa Hawkins goes behind. And a really nice sprint in by Kelly Mara, and another goal by UMass in this half. They are on a 6-goal run in this third quarter. And Vanderbilt has had opportunities and gotten possession of the ball. They are not getting the draw. Rain is falling and immediately turning to ice as it drops on us. I should say as it drops on the players, because I am in a very comfortable booth while the girls are all onto the field weathering the storm, as well as their fans. UMass extremely fired up right now. Vandy needs to take some of that energy and use it to get the ball down the field. The draw of utmost importance now. Again, Vanderbilt winning more draws in the first half, not so this second half. UMass on a 6-0 run. Vandy has yet to score in this half. Ball goes up. Mango doesn't see where it goes, but again, Audra Tassone with possession off the draw. She immediately sprints down over the restraining line. UMass able to set up on their attack, and Olivia Masella with the ball. UMass working the ball around, and a weird pass. Again, I definitely think the weather affecting some of these passes today. Ball goes right to Paige Gunning, who of course is ready for it. Great sprint down the field by Bree Gross. She looks up with a nice thread the needle pass to Carly Bucci, and back over to Kate Murphy. Kate will pass the ball behind to Ellie Hilsebeck. She's back in this game. Ellie Hilsebeck and I talked about her swagger that she's had in some of these big games. She had a 4-goal performance against Notre Dame, and I just really thought that she brought something to the table, this swagger, and a beautiful pass in the middle to Paige Finneran, but a stop by the goalie, and a great hustle play that went just a skosh too far, and a yellow card on Vandy. Looks like that one is on Carly Bucci, who was working to try to get that ball back. Now that's Kate Murphy. Vanderbilt with a great attempt there. Paige Finneran with that shot, but Gina Carroll making the stop. Vandy goes hard after that ball, but too much running through a player, and a yellow card, usually given for somewhat intentional play, and UMass gets the ball back. And Ellie Hilsebeck comes off the field limping a little bit. We hope she's okay. UMass working the ball around. They've gone completely around by now.
1 minute remaining in the
Ball
third
goes
quarter.
up top, and just a minute left, and the shot clock and the quarter clock are a little off each other. And a nice pass in the middle, but Vandy's defense is there. They go very hard after the ball. A foul is called, and a free position by Brinley Anderson on the far left hash. She will most likely pass, and she does, to a wide open Audra Tassone. I believe that was number 14, but waiting to see who the stick goes back to, and you'll see that players drop their sticks. Players dropped their sticks when, oh, it was 24, not 14, so that was Olivia Masella scoring. Players drop their sticks after they score so that the ref can check their pocket and make sure that it's a legal pocket. It has to be tight enough for the ball to partially be showing. When your pocket is very deep, it makes it easy for you to maintain the possession of the ball even when you're being hit. And another addition to this UMass run. They go up 13-5, up by 8 with 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Vandy needs to do something here to turn this game around. And Mango with the far draw out. to Kemper Robinson, who fights hard for the ball, but goes across the body, and another loose ball that Vandy can't come up with, and a nice interception. Great job, heads up play by Ashley Sampone, one of the Sampone twins. And Paige Gunning gets it, passes off to Megan McGillis. Megan McGillis looks to push the ball upfield to Bree Gross. There's only 5 seconds left in this game. Ball has to go in the middle, and the pass off to Bree Gross, and she shoots, but is fouled on the attempt. Third quarter expires, so she will not get to shoot the ball. And 2 minutes before the start of this fourth quarter, this is the largest deficit that Vanderbilt has had to date this year. Anything can happen in this game. As you can see, UMass with 7 goals in this half. Vanderbilt can come back with 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in this quarter if they so choose.
But I really like it on pizza.
Want to go back to
No.
what we had teased before about Coach McMahon, her Title IX hero.
Absolutely. Yes.
And
Absolutely not. Yes, it does.
Coach McMahon played for Northwestern. She transferred in her sophomore year, and I had an idea about who she would say, and she said, "Oh, you know her well." And it is a Chicago favorite, Northwestern head coach Kelly Amonte Hiller. She said that she believes she's the best coach in the history of the sport, and that she was selfless and she's there for all of her former players. She cheers them on and continues to lead them. She's been very successful in how she can balance her home life and just crush it on the field, and she's been a huge motivation. She transferred there in 2004, so she's known Coach Amonte Hiller for a very long time. And it was Coach McMahon that told me that UMass won the first ever lacrosse national championship. And Coach McMahon said that their team chemistry is great. They want to be better and compete. They sought out those 3 postgraduate players that transferred in for this year, that they fit right in, and they've become extremely balanced on attack, which has been true thus far today. Alex Finn, that we've seen a couple of goals from, she was a transfer from Boston College. They have an Ohio State University transfer. They've got Sammy Helgeson from Penn State. So having this much experience has certainly shown today, as well as battling through this weather that we're having, such a change in temperature and lighting and everything from the beginning to the middle and now this final fourth quarter. And we switch sides for the last time this game. Vanderbilt continuing to try out some different looks on the field. They've got number 22, Sammy Newchow in. She's a freshman, another set of twins. She's on defense, sorry, on attack. So Sammy on attack with Paige Finneran, Gabby Fournier, and Vandy starting with 5 behind the restraining line to start out, maybe stop the bleeding a little bit and help on these clears up the field. And Mango does a great job on this draw, bobbles a little bit, but Kayla Rue runs through, is able to pick it up. She heads for the restraining line. She's being doubled. She gets hit. Maintains her composure. Vanderbilt gets the ball back. Bree Gross will bring it across the line. She passes off to Sammy Newchow. Very exciting to see her in the game. Vandy's definitely got their share of California players. That comes from Rob coming from the West Coast. And a little bobble on that pass up to Kemper Robinson, but Vandy able to get the ball back. And that's Taylor Sampone. We've seen Ashley and Taylor kind of at different times through the course of the game. Megan McGillis brings the ball over. A lot of defenders that have been having to cross over the restraining line today. And Bree Gross has it, and she will get a shooting space call. Vanderbilt just needs to act tough and go for it on these offensive sets. They're getting the calls, and she will run it in, and I predict score, which she does. Luckily, I said that right after the ball crossed that goal line. But a beautiful shot by Bree Gross, and Vanderbilt has scored a couple of times that way today, as has UMass, by having their stick up high and then shooting low at that last second. Very hard for a goalie to react when a player is that close to them and running towards the cage. And Vanderbilt on the board for the first time in this half. They are back within 7. Plenty of time to claw their way back into this game. Only 1 minute and 2 seconds off the clock before that score. They can continue to do that and win this game. They are just going to have to be extremely dedicated and work hard on every single possession, every single pass, every single catch, running through everything. You'd have to be extra careful when the weather is this crazy and the winds are this high. Take that extra step, whether you're passing or running through that catch. And Mango did a great job on the last draw. She's able to get it out high again, but it goes UMass's way, and number 16, Hannah Heller, picks it up. And they have to go back to Gina Carroll, and Gabby Fornia working hard on this redefend, making Gina Carroll work for it. She passes up to Brinley Anderson, who gets the ball up to Maddie Maloney. And a beautiful play by UMass. A cut from behind the cage and a fake and a last-minute pass to Alex Finn, who scores again, coming up with that cut from behind. Lila Huddles did that to great effect in Vandy's game against Liberty, and Alex Finn has done that several times today against Vanderbilt. Score for UMass back up by 8. Just over 13 minutes left in this game. And we went from a beautiful sunny day to nighttime, freezing rain, some sleet, heavy winds. And Mango did a nice job on that last draw. It's just that Bree Gross had already committed a different way. And Hannah Heller was able to grab it. Bree Gross and Kayla Rue on the circle. Mango takes the draw. And it's going to be a redraw. Looks like both of them moved after they were set. So they're going to redraw. It's not any particular person's fault, the ref is saying. And Coach McMahon upset about that call. She thinks that should be a UMass ball. Mango showing Bree Gross where it's going to go, and it does. And Bree Gross does a great job of sprinting after that ball. She has 3 players on her, so Kayla Rue gets open. It is just every player possible riding that ball as it comes down the field. But Kemper Robinson able to come up with it. She has been very tough today. And ball goes to Sammy Newchow. And back over to Bree Gross. She's going to go hard towards the cage and pass into the middle to Kemper Robinson. She can't hold on to it, but Paige Finneran picks up the ground ball. Vanderbilt lives to attack another day. Sammy Newchow gets eaten by the grass monster, but luckily Vandy's there to grab it. I think they're counting to see if anybody was offsides. Looks like there was a little foul in there. Paige Finneran gets it. We're going to restart the shot clock. Paige gets it up top. Vanderbilt still has over 12 minutes to continue to chip away at this UMass lead. Ball goes into the middle to Bree Gross. She looks hard to go to the middle, but her pass is blocked. Nothing is going to be easy today. And she is called for a foul. UMass gets the ball back. Clock keeps ticking down as we wait for players to get reset. Ball goes back to goalie Gina Carroll, and UMass switches fields, goes to Sammy Helgeson, and up to Olivia Masella. Starting to get a little ticky-tacky with the fouls in here. Vanderbilt needs to play hard-nosed defense the right way and get this ball back. The defense has definitely stepped up. And stop the bleeding, but UMass taking their time as they can with an 8-goal lead. They're going to work the ball around and take as much time off the shot clock as possible while still attacking the cage. And Kendra Harbinger goes hard towards the cage and is fouled. She's doubled and fouled as she goes in. She'll get a free position on that far left hash. She runs it in and shoots past Paige Gunning. I think Vandy looking to see if she was going to get the call on falling into the goal circle, but the refs are saying she was pushed, and UMass now goes up by 9. First time in this game they have had that large of a lead, and Vandy still with only 1 goal in this half.
UMass goal scored by number 21, Kendra Harbinger. Time to goal, 10:59.
Vandy had 14 goals against a very strong Notre Dame defense that was also very aggressive. And it seems like today that they just don't have an answer as far as how they can attack the cage while they're being hit. UMass definitely with more fouls in this game, but Vandy giving up the ball and losing possession more than I have seen. And a great draw by Mango over to Kayla Rue, and immediately she has 2 UMass players on her. She passes over to Sammy Newchow, to Bree Gross, to Kemper Robinson, and back over. That was a nice take to the cage. That was number 36, Molly Finley, the freshman, back in the game. Got a couple of freshmen in here, including Kemper Robinson, who's holding the ball right now. Oh, it's 35, Nancy Halloran, also a freshman. Vandy gets the ball back, brings it behind. Sammy Newchow has it. She has her head up. She wants to get the ball to Gabby Fournier. Looks like Gabby's being defended quite heavily. And Bree Gross, uncharacteristically, loses the ball. UMass gets it. Gina Carroll, UMass's goalie, been very commanding today. She'll do a little roll pass out to number 23, Courtney Barrett. Ball goes back to Gina Carroll. They're taking their time. and UMass bringing the ball all the way down the field. 52 seconds still in the shot clock. They took 40 seconds to bring the ball down, but they brought it down safely, and they can eat away a lot of clock. And again, the same move by Alex Finn, coming from behind off that roll, that cut, having her stick high and shooting it low. UMass now up by 10, and we have a running clock.
UMass goal scored by number 43, Alex
As soon as the
Finn.
score has a 10-goal differential, you start the running clock, which is the opposite of what Vanderbilt needs right now. They are going to have to quickly get a goal, stop the clock. And Vandy calling a timeout here that will stop the clock, as well as come up with some sort of game plan to get some quick goals here and maintain possession of the ball.
Timeout Vanderbilt.
This has been the toughest game I have seen for Vandy thus far this year. UMass must have learned a lot in their tough loss to UConn. Coach McMahon told me that UConn plays very similarly to the Minutewomen, and it was close. It went back and forth, and then just didn't go their way at the end of the game. This game started out back and forth so much. The score remained close despite the number of Vanderbilt turnovers and the number of saves by Paige Gunning. Not so thus far in this second half. UMass has found a way to convert on those shots. They've been looking before they shoot, finding that open goal space, and hitting it. They have done a really great job of getting the ball down the field and passing it around. Great cuts initially that first half. They were not stepping enough in front of the cage on their rolls to have an angle on the shot. It now feels like 34 degrees here in Nashville. This is not something we normally see this time of year. And another big switch that happened was moving Olivia Masella off the draw and putting Maya Keenan-Gallagher there. She has been much better on the draw for the Minutewomen. Mango taking every draw today. She's done a fantastic job. But Vanderbilt has not always been able to maintain possession, no matter if she gets that initial hit off the ball. And a great job, heads-up play to get the ball to Ella Smith. I believe that's who Vandy put in the middle. Gabby Fournier has the ball. She passes out wide. It looks like Kaylin Bracken is in. And I do want to talk about Kaylin for a minute, because that was the person that Ellie Hilsebeck had said was someone that meant so much to the sophomore class, that she was the heart and soul of the sophomores, that she was such a great leader for the girls on the team. She's the one that, she has her own nutrition blog, actually. It's called Kale with Callie. And she is very level-headed and wise, and she has an immense impact on that class. She has a voice and she uses it. And Ellie Hilsebeck told me she's just in awe every time that Callie speaks, always gets a new perspective. So really nice to see her showing up in the game. And UMass able to bring the ball down the field. They have a full 87, 85 seconds up in the shot clock. They are going to work the ball around, work some time off this clock. They do have to shoot. Gone are the days where you could hold the ball for 9 minutes. And another great job by Kendra Harbinger. She played a great 1v1 attack on that. Got her Vanderbilt defender to commit, went the opposite way, moved the goalie, then shot. Great job by
UMass
the
goal scored by
graduate,
number 21, Kendra Harbinger. Time to the goal,
postgraduate player Kendra
6:37.
Harbinger, and UMass now up 17-6. Clock is running, 6 minutes left in this game. Mango has been steadfast. She has done her job. She has gotten a lot of draws today. Carly Bucci waiting to run in on attack for Vandy. It's already taken 30 seconds off the clock, setting up for this draw. You can see how much it means to have a running clock and how much time goes by. And ball goes over right into the stick of Hannah Heller. She just sprints immediately as soon as she gets the ball down the field. She passes back up to Emma Farnham. She's a senior coming in from Massachusetts. And UMass going to take as much time off this clock as they can before they have to shoot. Unless they have a wide open shot, then my guess is they're going to take it, because you can take as much time off walking back to the draw as you can waiting for a good shot. Vandy with a nice defensive stop there. Paige Gunning has it, and a beautiful clear. I mean, her clears are literally sometimes better than people with sticks, regular sticks. And unfortunately, Vandy makes the long pass. They're trying to move the ball quickly to make up for some time, and in doing so, lose the ball. UMass comes up with it again. Just over 4 minutes left to play in this game. Ellie Hilsbeck was telling me it's a blessing and a curse to be ranked, because then it puts a target on your back. And Vandy had a really glorious week following that Notre Dame win, and then another win against Elon. It was a tough weekend going to Colorado, playing 2 games in 3 days against 2 very strong teams, both in the Buffs of Colorado and the Pios of Denver. And then coming back, they really felt ready for this game today. UMass on their first road trip game of the season came in so hard, so aggressive, so ready to play, and had so many scoring threats. First half, Paige Gunning keeping Vandy in this game despite the turnovers and not getting the ground balls, and despite getting fouled so much. It's just been a very tough second half for Vanderbilt for getting good looks on offense, getting the ball to the offense, and then waiting for a good look. And this half, UMass has capitalized on all those opportunities and converted into actual goals. It is now freezing here in Nashville. 38 shots by UMass today. 38 shots to Vanderbilt 17. And we have a new goalie coming in for UMass. Bridget Wall has come in. It is freezing rain right now. There's 56 seconds on the shot clock and just under 4 minutes left to play in the game. And a quick pass into the middle and a nice grab by Paige Finneran. She's come up with some big ground balls today. That ball's very slippery. Their hands have got to just be aching right now to touch a cold stick in freezing weather. Freezing wet weather is so hard. And Melissa Hawkins working that ball all the way down. She's a defender. She is now behind the attacking cage and passes the ball off to Bree Gross, who again, in these conditions, it's just so hard to handle. Can't come up with it, especially when the ball hits the ground. UMass comes up with the ball, and An errant pass by UMass, so Vandy will get the ball back. That's Ashley Sampone on that far side, picking up the ball. She'll pass to Paige Gunning. And Paige Gunning goes hard. She gets hit. She is limping, running back towards the cage. UMass will take their time and hold on to it. That's Tessa Shields taking her time with the ball, passing it off. They are going to run some more time off this clock. Ball goes to number 9, Kylie Bowen, who's back in this game, and she goes in for a score on a very hurt Paige Gunning. And UMass now up 18-6. Just a tough game for Vanderbilt today. And the clock continues to tick down as we are under 2 minutes. Mango lines up for another draw. Ella Smith and Kayla Rue on the draw circle. Maya Keenan-Gallagher really turned things around on the draw for this UMass team. Just over a minute left to play. Ball goes up and right into the stick of Kayla Rue. She immediately sprints over the restraining line and head towards the cage. She will score. Great job by Kayla Rue. The clock, however, does not stop yet. They would have to score 2 more goals in order for the clock to stop. We are under a minute. Vandy lines up quickly to try and get enough reps in here to make something happen, but 11 goals is going to be tough to do in under 30 seconds by the time this draw goes. These draws are almost a minute before they actually get the ball to go up. Ball goes up and it goes towards Kayla Rue. Again, she fights for it, but a sprinting Emma Farnham comes up with it. No, I'm sorry, that is number 29, not 19. Lauren Tolve comes up with it, and that is the end of regulation. Vanderbilt had a tough day today. They had a lot of turnovers. They got fouled a lot, and the ball came loose quite a bit. They're not quite as used to playing in this really tough weather. They only got 18 shots off today to UMass's 39. The player that really left everything on the field and came up with so many big saves, kept Vanderbilt in it for a long time, goalie Paige Gunning, who just gave everything, ran all over this field today. Want to give her a special shout out. Lots of different players seeing the field today. I have no doubt that Vanderbilt will regroup and have a lot to talk about at practice this week. Please join us for our next game coming up this Wednesday. Vanderbilt takes on Colgate here in Nashville. That's this Wednesday, the 16th at 1 p.m. I believe it's 1 p.m. We will see you then. Until next time, I'm Michelle Sebastian. We'll see you on Wednesday for more action in women's lacrosse.
Do you want to see the full end? Sure, do you want